my name is Margaret Adele, and welcome to March's Nonfiction Book of the Month. I really should be filming these earlier in the months. I've had this book read for weeks, but I really liked the idea of finding all of the different national blank awareness of each month and then picking one of those to do my nonfiction reading on. And one of the ones for March, among many others, was nutrition. And I've been trying to eat a little bit better. I'm actually really impressed with myself that I started working out August of last year, and I've actually stuck with it. I think I'm seeing results. I can't be sure because I'm too scared to actually check. But I wanted to focus more on the food side too. So I picked Why You Eat What You Eat by Rachel Herz. More than just a you should do this 'cause reasons. This is a why you do what you do when it comes to food, and ways to basically psychologically trick yourself in a lot of ways so that you can decrease cravings or just genuinely make yourself feel fuller faster without, trying weird diet fads. That is the one thing I really like about this book, is that it goes very much against dieting as a culture, and it talks about how, if you take on a specific diet, 95% of the time, you gain back every pound you lose on it, and often more. So the trick is not to take on short-term, insane, fad diets. It's to change your overall eating slowly. And it even talks about things like, if you would totally deny yourself certain foods, you're going to create an obsession for that food in your head. Kind of the idea of the person on the diet that's obsessed with pizza, even if a normal person maybe hasn't had pizza in weeks but are not on a diet, they're less obsessed than the diet person who specifically told themselves they can't have it, type of thing. So the idea is that there's psychology behind it, and everything you do around food that you can change to lessen your cravings, essentially, and make yourself feel fuller. Because, and I did not know this, in a lot of cases, whether or not you feel full doesn't always have to do with actually how much food is in your stomach. And you can, in fact, overeat past capacity or undereat depending, which is slightly scary. But there was also some really fun ideas about how color plays into it, and things like if you put a sweet treat in a red dish, it will actually, to your mind, come across sweeter, because we, at least in the Western world, connect red with sweet. And in that way, you can make it taste better. And when things taste sweeter, as this book also talks about, if something tastes really rich and sweet, you naturally eat less of it, regardless of how many calories is in it. So ironically, the best thing to do is not to try to eat the diet stuff, but actually to go for just smaller bits of the full health stuff. And it also talks about, the other thing I found really cool was the talk about how you'll actually eat more calories worth of things that have the words low fat or diet or light or those kind of terminology on the packaging, because your brain is tricked into thinking that it's somehow okay to eat 4 times as much of this stuff as the stuff that doesn't say light, because you think it's healthier, when in reality it's maybe 50 calories less per serving or whatever. So it's a lot of those kind of marketing strategies. But for me personally, because I am reading these nonfiction books specifically to be okay, yes, I am taking this and putting it in my daily life, there was a section on picky eaters. Now, this book talks a lot in depth about and I'm gonna forget what it stands for, but ARFID, which is a psychological phenomenon in which a person just hates eating and they just struggle to eat anything. It's like picky eating, but in the extreme. And I don't know how useful that's going to be for me, but I am a foster parent, and in a lot of cases, the kids that come into our house, at least the 2 that we've had so far that have been old enough to have been eating, solid foods, the 4-month-old doesn't really care, they had horrible eating habits. It's kind of just a natural extension of the homes they were living in. So it was a lot of obsession over junk food and soda and that kind of things. Thankfully, we didn't have anyone with food trauma, which is its own thing. And this book doesn't really cover it, but I didn't really expect it to, because that's a highly specific thing that the majority of the populace that has had a basically normal, healthy upbringing won't come into contact with, which, aren't the kids I'm working with, but they talk about the different ways to introduce new foods, like picking a specific day of the week and allowing the child time to prepare and making it a relaxed atmosphere, like the ways that music can affect how you basically taste your food, and the fact that there's actually a ton more that goes into how food tastes than just how the food actually tastes. Like, being happy can make food taste sweeter too. I think I said being sad can make food taste more bitter, I believe. And if you're also one of those people that like wants to know more about the like umami thing, that's in here too. It, you know, talks about whether or not it should be considered one of the four standard base tastes: salty, sweet, bitter, or spicy. I still say there's something to it. I still say I would not just call meat salty, but that's just me. But in general, this is great because it doesn't come across as preachy like a lot of food and nutrition books often can, because it's telling you, like, no, I get it. Your brain is telling you you need these sweet foods, and here's why it's telling you that. Like, it's not like hating on you for why you want those sweet treats when you're feeling bad. It has an entire section on comfort food and how your comfort food is 90% of the time food from your youth, because that's when you felt safe. And there's this whole thing and how that affects you. So this is like one of the least judgy nutrition books out there. So if you want to learn more about it, but you get tired of all those healthy eating books, like making you feel bad for wanting an ice cream cone, this would probably be a good pick. In general, I really appreciated it. There's a ton of sources, and the studies that it cites are really easily explained so that you understand things. Some things occasionally, when it got deep into psychology, was kind of a for me. I didn't really know, but for the most part, it's fairly accessible. I don't know if you would consider this pop nonfiction, because I know I'm trying to read serious nonfiction, but it did give me genuine help moving forward. It's still going to be a fight with some of the foster kids who, you know, were used to being allowed to chug Mountain Dew all day. Yeah, some of our foster kids got, well, not some, the two we've had so far, were very upset to find out that they were not allowed to have any caffeinated soda in the house at all, and the soda, non-caffeinated, that they were allowed to have could only happen with meals. That was a fight, but we got it. By the time they both left us, they had stopped fighting us on it. So, just goes to show that you can begin new, healthier eating habits. And this will definitely help you find out why you want that sugar and how to lessen your severe desire for that sugar. 5 stars. So next up for the month of April, I think the most obvious choice for me would be to do something with autism. Not only is April National Autism Awareness Month, but you may know that I am a special needs paraeducator at the middle school level, and I work with children with autism. So it's not only going to be good for the month, but it is definitely something I'm going to be using in my everyday life. So if you're looking forward to that one, please let me know. If you have any specific suggestions for things that I should read nonfiction wise for that, must be nonfiction. I know I need to read more own voices, autism, fiction books, but I'm working on the nonfiction right now. Or also, let me know what you think I absolutely should avoid, because I know there are some methods and literature on the topic of autism that are not good. So give me the warnings too, please. But regardless, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day and a marvelous tomorrow.